Last week, David Holz, the founder of Midjourney, the company best known for generating six-fingered anime waifus and getting sued by Disney, sat on stage and announced their next big initiative to get inside of you. Midjourney Medical is a new division of Midjourney with the goal to reimagine the foundations of healthcare and our relationship to our bodies. The last time a San Francisco company wanted to reimagine my relationship with my body, I ended up getting Narcan behind the Ben & Jerry's at Fisherman's Wharf. But they say you can't overdose on the same thing twice, so I'm feeling optimistic. David went on to explain that because Midjourney is bootstrapped and profitable, they can afford to focus on something no other frontier AI lab would touch with a 10-foot pole, and that is actually improving the human experience. In today's world, if you want to look inside yourself, you have a few options, all of which were invented before the personal computer. You can get an MRI, which feels like sitting inside a Titan submersible while it screams at you for an hour. You can do a CT scan, which is much faster, but that speed comes with a small dose of radiation. There is also a DEXA scan, which is more convenient, but can leave you emotionally devastated when you realize veggie straws do not actually contain any vegetables. All of these technologies are expensive at best and buried beneath healthcare bureaucracy at worst. The industry is gated by referrals, insurance disputes, and waiting times long enough for that suspicious lump to become even more suspicious. That is why Midjourney caught my attention when they announced their goal of creating a medical imaging device called ultrasonic CT that is cheap, fast, and accessible. The concept involves stepping onto a platform that slowly lowers you into a shallow pool of warm water. As you descend, you pass through a ring containing 500,000 microscopic sensors. Each sensor, roughly the size of a grain of sand, includes a tiny speaker and microphone capable of firing ultrasonic waves through your body at extraordinary speeds. When those waves bounce back, they return with different characteristics depending on the tissues they traveled through. The result is terabytes of raw data every second. Reconstructing meaningful images from noisy and ambiguous inputs happens to be exactly the kind of problem Midjourney has spent years solving. The final image is intended to resemble what modern MRI systems produce, but at nearly 100 times the speed, and without requiring you to spend an hour trapped in a screaming metal tube. Since the entire process relies on sound waves, water, and only a minute of your time, Midjourney believes body scanning should become far more common than it is today. However, making that possible requires placing the technology somewhere people actually want to visit. Their answer is a spa. To support that vision, Midjourney plans to launch Midjourney Spa, a 25,000 square foot facility in San Francisco scheduled to open at the end of 2027. The location will feature hot tubs, saunas, cold plunges, and what they describe as cozy rooms filled with pools of golden light that softly scan your body. The idea is that people arrive for relaxation, spend the day unwinding, and receive a full-body scan almost as a side effect. It is a wellness experience merged with advanced diagnostics, wrapped in the kind of atmosphere Silicon Valley loves to imagine. Not everyone is convinced, however, and many of the skeptics happen to be doctors. The primary criticism is that ultrasound technology works well for soft tissues near the surface, such as the thyroid, kidneys, and abdomen, but struggles with the realities of physics. Sound waves do not travel effectively through air or bone, which means structures like the lungs and the brain are difficult or impossible to image using this approach. No amount of clever software can completely eliminate those limitations. In addition, the project remains at a very early stage. The 1-minute scan is currently a future goal rather than a present capability. Existing prototypes take around 20 minutes to complete and have not yet received FDA clearance. At the moment, the system is only legally allowed to provide information about body composition. Over the next year, the company plans to improve the hardware, conduct research trials, and continue developing the first research spa before its opening in late 2027. At the same time, they will submit testing data to regulators in hopes of gradually unlocking disease detection capabilities. Their roadmap includes a third-generation scanner targeted for 2028 and an ambitious deployment of more than 50,000 machines by 2031. If successful, that network could provide monthly scans to roughly 1 billion people around the world. So, no, the Midjourney spa is probably not going to eliminate 30% of all deaths next year, and critics questioning the physics have legitimate concerns. Still, after years of watching some of the world's smartest people